Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And you're watching Two Drunk Consies sitting in the garage talking about Star Wars. So immediately, this episode just straight up starts with one of the most intense, awesome live action sequences in Star Wars. I would have expected Ahsoka to turn up like halfway through the episode. This just like immediately
Doesn't even show the Mando yet.
Yeah, like here's Ahsoka. And yeah, this sequence is so fucking amazing. The cinematography is beautiful.
The way she fades into like this fog and shit.
Yeah, the darkness, the clouds, the lightsabers, the violence. It's just, yeah, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly like some of the best Star Wars
that's
been put, to camera. Possibly since the original trilogy.
Yeah, mate, Ahsoka, bro. Bringing Ahsoka in, they can't take any chances. They gotta make it fucking epic, but what? Not too epic.
So, Mark, in your humble opinion, did they manage to adapt Ahsoka to the live-action screen effectively? You didn't bring your notes. You can go and get your notes.
Yeah, bring my notes.
So, Mark, in your humble opinion, do you think that they effectively adapted Ahsoka to the live screen?
It's a difficult question. Like I can't say I'm disappointed by her rendition. I think the actress did a really good job, and I like the actress.
Rosario Dawson
did a good job. However, I do feel like she was a lot more antsy with the murder. I feel like generally Ahsoka doesn't kill people for no reason. She generally, even with soldiers, tries to knock them out or get them to flee or what have you. She tries not to just mindlessly slice them to pieces. And I feel like in this episode she did a lot of murder.
She, murdered at least 30 people in this episode.
Which is okay. You know, there were several times where she did. Geonosians didn't matter. She killed a fuck ton of Geonosians.
That's racist.
You know? No, but that's
what
I mean.
Geonosians lesser people than...
I mean, she's not human, so...
The Geonosians are obviously lesser than her species as well.
You're insects.
Racist!
Either way, yeah, I feel like, while verbally and the way she fought was very Ahsoka-esque, and I felt like I believed her as Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But then again, I do feel like maybe since Rebels 2, she wasn't as, I guess, strict to her whole self, and this is post-Rebels.
Post-Rebels. She's like mid-50s at this point. But yeah, so I've seen some Clone Wars here and there. But yeah, I don't know Ahsoka very well. But I enjoyed Rosario Dawson's performance. The action scenes are incredible. Her prosthetics, they worked on the live-action screen.
I liked her mandibles, the tentacles, whatever the fuck the thing are on her head.
I was thinking about the practicality of evolving with something like that, because it's essentially hair, and it offers no purpose.
Well, we have hair and it offers no purpose. I guess keeping us warm.
That's true, and maybe that tentacle hair keeps her warm in the winter.
I did notice that in Rebels her tentacle things are way longer.
Yeah, I guess it happens as they get older.
But hers in this isn't as long.
Oh, they fucked up.
Only slightly. It's not like a big difference.
That's fair.
It could have been the animation style as well.
Yeah. So then Mandy rocks up. He's on the hunt for a Jedi. He walks into this really oppressive town. This is what Star Wars needs to do, right? If they're going to actually convince people that this can be a big, expansive universe with all this fucking fresh, new ideas, and it can be like a creative universe.
Yeah.
They need to do this, because the fucking Stormtrooper thing, it's done, eh?
Yeah.
They suck.
Show the multiple planets in the Star Wars universe. It's literally a galaxy.
Yeah. They don't need to fight Stormtroopers anymore. They hold no tension or suspense. They fucking suck. We've seen them a million times. Yeah. This created its own little world, its own culture. This race and their aesthetic and their little fucking weird dystopian world. It looked great.
Oh,
I loved
fantastic. Everything looked amazing as usual.
No
surprise there.
Mm-hmm. But especially it just had this samurai aesthetic to it all. It all very much felt like one of those old Akira Kurosawa samurai films from back in the day. Filoni definitely leaned into that very heavily in this episode.
Ahsoka's very dual wielding, but very samurai. She's very limber and quick.
Yeah. So yeah, Mandy's like, I'm after a Jedi. And they're like, well, actually, no, he's not. He doesn't say anything. They're like, you need to find the Jedi. He's like, oh, good.
Yeah.
So he wanders into
Doesn't
this...
have to.
yeah. He wanders into this barren forest and Ahsoka comes out and that is really great little fucking battle. She like brings her lightsaber.
You got to see what the Beskar can really do.
Yeah. And then he got out his flamethrower. She jumped up.
And then as soon as that failed, he was straight to his fucking... You know, he was using everything at his...
He was fucked.
Yeah.
He was utterly fucked.
If he had to use his little missile things, I don't know how fucked he would have been though.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe she did like the Force.
She probably would have started. She probably would have fucked him.
Yeah.
Or jumped out of the way or some shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he was drowning
so
in like
fucked.
next to your water. It was like, Bo-Katan sent me.
Oh, he probably would have wanted to study her for a bit before making the fucking thing, but she just pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, attacks the fuck out.
And another thing that I don't feel Ahsoka would have just attacked him like that.
Yeah, true.
He was in different armor to what she's been versing, so I feel like she would have approached the situation with more democracy, like the Jedi have taught her.
Yeah.
I know she's not Jedi, but she does carry a lot of their traits that she valued, and I seriously doubt her not jumping into a situation to kill instantly would be a...
We don't know the context leading up into this situation, so maybe like all this murder is justified. Like maybe she's just been through like the most horrific set of circumstances, which has like absolutely made this culture and this world like just poison
Anyone
her.
who could be a part of this are fucking horrible human beings. Like, you'd see it, I guess. But most of the soldiers are probably just families trying to make... Oh, that's good money.
Yeah.
They probably all have families, and she's just slicing them to pieces.
Just running through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like, oh, you're here to talk about this green thing, which is now Grogu, which we can't...
Grogu, yeah.
We can't ever say Baby Yoda again, Mark.
But...
Ever again! Remember when we learned that Din Djarin's name was Din Djarin? We immediately started calling him Din Djarin and never referred to him as Mandy ever again.
Mando, thank you.
I refer to him as Mandy.
I say Mando.
I say Mandy. Because it's a female name. It's funny.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so she gives us all of this backstory on old Grogu. He was at the Jedi Council when Order 66 happened.
Yeah, dude, yeah, he's been trained
Multiple masters.
Multiple masters, which means obviously Yoda's met him.
Yeah, this is kind of like the most obvious thing to do, I guess, but it works. And it's like,
it explains in a lot of ways.
It explains everything as easy as you can.
Yeah, well, we were just saying in the last episode how we think that maybe they're trying to grow him up too fast, but yeah, it's not necessarily that. He's probably way like more alert than we're aware of. It's just
we learned that in this episode.
Well, we learned like he's a lot more like alert.
So every time he says Grogu, he's like,
it's like
all those moments are like, no.
He just doesn't realize that he's talking to him.
Yeah, so he's been through this traumatic experience. Ahsoka refers to like some dark part of his mind, where like after Order 66.
Just like dark as in like empty, I guess.
Yeah, but referring to either like his passage through life at that point in time was rather dark, or like something has happened to his memory and someone has tried to hide something from him.
Well, they have taken his blood already, but that was in season 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fucking way after Order 66. So yeah, he's also been concealing his Jedi powers so he doesn't get
hiding in that
discovered.
whole time though, because he was just sitting in that fucking...
Hear me out, Mark.
Okay, sorry.
Hear me out.
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson is in my top 5 actors of all time.
He's already been someone in Star Wars.
I know! And he's gonna be him again.
There has been a lot of theories that made him
All I'm saying is that I fucking love Samuel L. Jackson due to mostly Tarantino, actually completely null to Tarantino.
And Mace Windu.
I got nothing from Mace Windu. The only thing I got from Mace Windu was when I got older and watched all Tarantino movies and went back and like, that's Sam Jackson. But before that, I don't know, he's
I didn't
stoic.
even realise who he was.
He had a purple lightsaber.
He's just a grumpy guy.
Yeah. He's not even Samuel L. Jackson.
No, not really. I mean, he's angry enough to be Samuel L. Jackson.
A few times, but he's rather like stoic and quiet.
No, but he's always like...
He's slightly angry.
He's grumpy.
But then you watch Tarantino and
he's not Tarantino angry, but he's Star Wars angry.
All I'm saying is that we bring back Sam Jackson as Mace Windu, but he's Tarantino angry.
So how has Mace Windu, been alive and well this whole time?
That's what we're gonna find out, Mark. How come all these movies happen and we never seen Ahsoka or fucking Baby Grogu? All these other things are happening that we never knew about. Alongside Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, we got Grogu zipping along.
I mean, he
doing
was
his
like
thing.
electrocuted and then launched out of fucking ridiculously high story building. But
When
he's,
was this?
but he's a Jedi.
Oh, Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Whatever. It's sci-fi. He can come back.
He could, but I would be actually very disappointed.
I thought that about Boba Fett at first, and then I was like, nah, fuck it, bring it
Boba
back.
Fett came back in Legends though and canon, so it's like
Yeah, but like, I want to see Samuel L. Jackson play Mace Windu again.
okay, I get it. And
Nah,
he could pull off that age too.
If it happened,
he could 100% pull off that age.
yeah, like old man Samuel L. Jackson. I don't, if it happens, I'll just be so happy that it actually happened. That like, however they make it happen is fine. Some dumb fucking, he fell out the window and he fell into a cab and then he stayed dormant for
Who
40
do you
years.
reckon took Mace Windu's lightsaber? Because he cut off. Oh, it went out the window. Didn't
Went
it?
out the window, I think.
So he just waddled over and grabbed
Yeah.
his lightsaber.
Yeah,
Do
so
you know an interesting fact about Mace Windu's lightsaber?
do I? No, don't.
So there's actually, if you look at like his actual lightsaber design, there's little bits of gold on it.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
I can't remember the exact name of the material, but it's like this material that's given to a Jedi Master to basically prove how, you know, well he's done in the Force. It's like a massive award for any Jedi to have the ability to put on a lightsaber. Mace Windu had a lot of it on his lightsaber. Darth Sidious made his entire lightsaber out of this material just as an extra in your face to the Jedi whenever he fights one in combat. To say, you may have all this fucking shit on your lightsaber, but mine's made of it, motherfucker. I'm superior to every single Jedi. And I just thought that was such a Sidious thing to do. Because he fucking hates the Jedi, eh?
He does. Did Mace Windu have bad motherfucker on his lightsaber? That's a Pulp Fiction reference, people. We're doing Pulp Fiction references.
You bet your ass it did.
So Grogu was at the Jedi Temple, Order 66, and then we go into this neat little training sequence.
Before that, just referencing to that scene where they're talking, well, mentally talking.
Yeah, they're
Why
communicating.
didn't they know how to be so far away?
Because it was a private moment.
I get it, but like, they're talking telepathically.
They're having an intimate conversation that he can't join in on in any way. It'd be awkward.
I guess. I just didn't think it was necessary.
That's good. I think they were trying to make it more big and epic with the moon and the...
I did like the way you could see that he was...
He was there, yeah, observing the situation. Yeah, and then we enter into this neat little training exercise. Basically, he's disobedient towards Ahsoka, or he doesn't do the Force thing.
Yeah.
And then Mandy gets the little knob off his joystick, and Grogu's like,
I had an interesting thought though. Do you think maybe he was trying not to do anything for her? Not because he just didn't know her, but maybe in a way he understands what's happening. He doesn't want to know that if he cooperates, he'll have to leave Mando.
yeah, maybe on some level he's
But
aware
then
of that.
when Mando's doing it, it's different because he doesn't view it as like someone else trying to take him away.
Perhaps, yeah. It's obvious that he has an emotional connection to Mandy, and Mandy has one to him.
Yeah.
That's laid out in this episode several times. So yeah,
Ahsoka literally says it.
yeah, and we see it play out on camera. And yeah, Ahsoka comes to the conclusion that because Anakin turned to the dark side and all this loss and hate, she can sense it within Grogu and she doesn't want to train him?
I feel like it's more, she doesn't feel like she's the right one to train him, and she doesn't feel there's any Jedi alive who could train him properly. Because she's not a Jedi for one,
Yeah.
and she never completed her training for two.
Yeah.
3, the best Jedi she ever knew turned to the dark side because of all these angry thoughts, so she's traumatized, I
Killed
guess.
younglings, yeah. But yeah, and then she's like, well, I can't train him, I'll turn to the dark side, go with the bounty hunter.
You should just fucking forget everything. It's like, this is legitimately just going to be like the first 10 years of his life when Mando is alive. Like the rest of his life is without Mando, you know what I mean?
That's fair, that's fair.
Provided Mandalorians live for the same amount of time that we do. Which I always thought they did, for some reason.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, but like he has the Force, he's using it, he's not just going to forget about the fucking Force.
No, he's just going to go into it untrained, which means he won't be as powerful as he could be, but he could also fall to the dark side and like... I guess without studying actual Sith teachings and stuff, there's only so far you could go, but... I don't know,
I feel like he's better off with her guidance to avoid that path rather than just, hey, I don't give a fuck, go into the wide world.
I guess, but I don't think she wants to commit to that.
No, she obviously doesn't.
Like that's
She tries to get out of it 8 times.
That's like, yeah, legitimately her like.
She's like, this puppet is infinitely cute, but I refuse to train him. Get him out of here.
Did you
Use daddy.
how slowly they age? Like, she would be like, I don't know how long Tortugas live for, but I don't think it's as long as Yoda's species.
No. There was some debate about that in relation to Yoda's age too, because Yoda dies when he's 900. This guy's 50, old Drogu, and he's only like 1, so it doesn't quite...
He's not though, he's clearly older.
Yeah, I guess...
He just can't speak.
We don't really know how old he is. But yeah, he should be able to speak by now, technically be like 2, 3, 4, rather than 1.
Yeah, but I mean, that's relative to humans though. He probably hasn't had a lot of exposure to people speaking. Without exposure to people speaking...
Yeah, that's true. There was
what do you got? He was literally found on a random fucking planet with like no one around.
Yeah, there was this Russian girl back in, I don't know, let's say the 50s, who as a little kid got lost in like the forest, and she actually grew up with wolves, and they found her later on as like a 16-year-old, and she spent all this time with these wolves, and then they tried to like teach her how to speak and write and stuff, and what they found is because actually she was developing and growing up, then she wasn't taught all these things, that her prefrontal cortex didn't develop fully. So there was actually like a biological element that was impeding her ability to learn because she hadn't been exposed to that information in her adolescence. So there was only so far they could get with her. There was like, this is it. It's Wolf Girl. She's like eating a pencil and throwing her feces at people. So yeah, her actual prefrontal cortex wasn't developed as it should have been. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is Grogu's fucked.
It's crazy to think that like the wolves took her in.
Yeah, they actually took her in as part of the pack.
I mean, dogs take us in as part of their pack.
Yeah, I very much behave in a manner with my dog as we're like pack animals. Bite him on the scruff of his neck, kick dirt up in his face, urinate on his clothes.
Like, when you think about it, how many lost worlds? 50 years compared to 900.
Yeah, but that's only like, what, a 20th of Yoda's life or something? So we should be older. A 20th of our lifespan is like 5 or 6, not 1.
Maybe he's 5 or 6.
Yeah, maybe he is. He knows more than we thought he knew.
I think there's been like a good 30, 40 years where he's just had nothing.
Yeah, he's been out in the wilderness, been concealing the Force. Who knows what he's been doing.
Yeah.
He's hidden his abilities to survive over the years.
So yeah, and then Mandy's like, I was given a bounty to kill you, but I'm going to help you out. I'm going to go fight these people. And then you have to train old Grogu. And they go in, and yeah, the fight sequence is really good once again. I especially like the last sequence when Ahsoka is fighting that lady.
You're fast-forwarding.
Well, alright, well let me finish this thought, and then you do your thing. You need to say your things then, because you're not saying, you're dropping your vapor!
You're the one doing the summarizing, right? And
I'm not
you're
summarizing.
skipping through an entire battle scene. And then you go straight to...
Well, I have nothing to say about it.
Okay.
Do you have something to say about it?
Well, I have something to say about the HK droids.
Alright, well let me just explain old lady. And
Go on about old lady.
Fucking get to the HK droids.
Well, the point you're talking about, they've already left her company. And Mando's already spoken about it. So in my mind, anyway, go on.
I don't know what you're going to say though. I don't chronologically know how to break it down if I don't know your points.
You're right.
You're killing me, Mark. You're killing me.
Always.
Do it more organically.
You're main host. What do you want me to do?
I know what I'm hosting. Let me host.
That's why I was saying, well, pump the brakes.
Alright.
Okay, go on what you're saying and then I'll say my fucking thing, okay?
I actually need to bring up this actor too. The main actor who plays the secondary guy within this town, Michael Biehn, I believe is the pronunciation of his name.
Yeah.
He's the guy who played John Connor in the original Terminator movie, and he's in Alien 2. Remember the main male protagonist against Sigourney Weaver in that? She forms a little emotional bond with him. He ends up surviving with Nude, and then he dies. Yeah, that's him. And so he's like a sci-fi legend. He's been in these 2 amazing franchises.
He just seems so much, not the actor per se, but the character, is so much as someone who's a good soldier who's seen his day and he's over, and this is just his job to kind of just sit next to her while she makes decisions and be that soldier. You know?
Yeah, he wasn't much of a character, and
but I liked his character.
And I like the fact that they're trudging up this like 30-year-old like sci-fi actor that's been in these two amazing, huge franchises who hasn't done anything for fucking ages. And it's just like, I don't know, it's a little touch for fans.
Yeah, no, fuck it. I had no idea, but I'm glad that that's a thing.
You want to talk about HK thing?
Yeah, so HK droids, HK Assassin's droids, to someone who doesn't go into the extent, you know, it's like, oh yeah, cool, HK droids, whatever, you know. In Knights of the Old Republic, the HK-47 is a companion you're going to have, right?
Yeah.
It's an assassin droid. You first think of them as a protocol droid, because that's what they disguise themselves as.
Yeah.
So you realise they're assassin droids as they get too close to their target, and then BAM! But they were like ridiculously good assassin droids. In fact, in Knights of the Republic 2, you have a series of HK-50s which are after you. And they're just smart alecky droids. So when they included that HK-86, 87, I think it was HK-87s in this series, in this thing, I was like, holy shit! Okay, the HK series is still a thing.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, IG-11, whatever the fuck.
And
That's
IG-88.
IG, this is HK, it's just a different variant of the assassin droid, but it goes back 4,000 years.
That's a long time to only have made a few models.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm guessing the models were good, so they didn't need to upgrade them that much.
For thousands of years.
They didn't look anything like them, like the original ones. But so I was just really happy they included them.
It's a little interesting thing that Dave Filoni has snuck in there for the fans.
Exactly, and as a fan, I was quite happy.
Yeah.
It's not just like fan service where you're just like...
It's deeper.
Yeah, it's deeper. Exactly.
Well, even what I was just talking about with old Michael Biehn from Aliens and Terminator. It's a deeper fan service.
A thought out fan service, not just let's watch a New Hope.
Finn getting the probe droid out of the thing and they've been like, remember?
Those two guys appearing who fought Luke in the bar in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Just let's watch a New Hope and see what pops up.
Yeah.
This is in depth, like crazy shit, which isn't a super important detail even in the game or whatever that it's in.
They're pulling from all these different places and they're doing it really effectively and it's really interesting. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Can you believe we have good Star Wars, Mark?
No. I legitimately can't.
It's been a rough one.
I'm shocked.
So yeah, Mandy and Ahsoka, they infiltrate this town. We get some cool action sequences with her. And
tense again, rather tense.
Yeah, I noticed too that the way lightsabers had like weight to them, like they did in Episode 7. It felt like like a really deep,
unlike the prequels.
Yeah, but it was more like acrobatic and it was more like.
But they still did keep Ahsoka's acrobatic fighting style, which is cool.
Yeah. And then we get these two great confrontations, which are completely like, as far as pace goes, different, and they juxtapose them on top of each other. We have Ahsoka with her lightsabers fighting this lady with her Beskar steel spear, which is really quick, really high paced, super like intense.
It was, but I feel like Ahsoka could have wiped the floor with her if she actually tried.
Yeah, she was playing with her.
She was legit like.
Yeah. She wanted information from her about Grand Emperor Thrawn.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, so we have these two different fight styles juxtaposed, like intercut within each other. And I just really marveled at the editing of it and enjoyed it. We have this fast-paced, in comparison, action sequence cut over the top of this Western-style duel, where one of the fights is
the other was him just hovering over his fucking...
Yeah, Michael Biehn putting down his
I still don't get
gun.
why the old mate betrayed him. Like, they probably wouldn't have done shit with him. They would have just let him
go. Kind of like the Sam Jackson coming back as Mace Windu thing. It's like, I enjoyed the execution of that classic Western style so much that I don't care about narrative for a second.
I'm perfectly happy with the thing.
I was just
the stupid, like as if he's that fucking stupid.
I know, but that's all those old 70s Western
I love
movies.
it.
Yeah, I really got a kick out of it. I'm like, oh my god, Filoni, you're doing it.
It does make a lot of sense, but I love it.
And yeah, it doesn't make any sense. People comment on like the good, bad, and the ugly, and like the mechanics of how they fight, and it's really weird and different to how the mechanics of our reality work. So, which is more interesting, because it's kind of like a different world, but people like try to analyze it like, why don't they just go bang, bang, bang? It was like this big, dramatic, drawn-out 5-minute sequence of someone like teetering their hand over their gun. It's style over narrative is what it is. It's leaning into the style and the music and the grandeur. So yeah, they had that moment and they cut it into a completely different fight style, and I just enjoyed the editing, how it was intercut, and the juxtaposition, and the fact that they did this really cool old cliche Western trope. So who's this Thrawn guy, Mark? He's from Legends, he was in Rebels, he's blue.
Okay, so the main reason Grand Admiral Thrawn is such a big deal. Okay, so he was originally a Grand Admiral in the Legends continuity comics, right?
Yeah.
And he's one of the few things that has come over from Legends into canon. From just being Legends, because he was so thing. He's a chiss, so he's blue with like red eyes.
Yeah.
And he's like a Grand Admiral, so he's like above Gideon, all that. He's like, he was like up there. In Rebels, he was in charge of the Inquisitors and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
He's just fucking huge. I assumed that he would have met his end in Rebels, but I haven't finished Rebels, so apparently not. The fact they're bringing him into it's because he was a strategic genius.
So here's my question. Do you think that they're actually going to be able to like allow that storyline to play out within The Mandalorian? Or do you think it's just like a little throwaway line? And it's like...
Ahsoka may never appear again.
Yeah, I don't think she'll appear this season. All I'm saying...
But even if it doesn't, it's a really big thing that I kind of like, that she's still on the hunt for Thrawn.
Yeah.
Because he's just... Because he was a classic, like, he wasn't evil. At least from what I saw, he wasn't a good guy in any stretch. But like, he wasn't evil. Like there were a lot of times where he was just more intrigued by someone who could, if someone could strategically up him, he was impressed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? One of those sorts of, which is in my mind a more respectable villain.
I have to say something about Dave Filoni. The episode he did in season 1, the Gunslinger, it's probably like my least favorite episode.
Yeah.
But this episode was fucking amazing. I would honestly say that it's some of the best Star Wars since the original trilogy. It's absolutely incredible. The tone, the way it was executed, even the treating of Baby Yoda, like his noises seemed less babyish.
Yeah, it seemed more...
He wasn't the comic relief.
Yeah.
I even liked the way he was in the satchel bag rather than the capture. Yeah. And the tone, I really enjoyed this tone. It was way darker, way more serious.
He did a really good job.
Way more bloody. Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing maybe in Gunslinger he didn't exactly have what he wanted to work with.
Who knows? It could be several things. I mean, yeah, sometimes you make a good album, sometimes you make a bad album. Sometimes you make a good song, sometimes you make a bad song. Yeah. Gunslinger sucked. This was fucking amazing.
It sucked.
It was the weakest episode of season 1.
Which episode was it?
Exactly! The one with that dumb young kid. Ooh. He goes to Tatooine, there's some dumb young kid, who cares?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it sucked. This episode was amazing. I mean, I think at this point, like, he needs his own show.
Well, that'll probably be most likely the Ahsoka series.
Is that a thing?
There's been word of it.
Yeah, of course there's been word of it!
But before she was cast in The Mandalorian Season 2.
What I'm saying is, give this guy a show. Give this guy Lucasfilm.
Dude, give this guy a show. He's already had Clone Wars and Rebels. Give this guy a show.
That's fair. I didn't watch them, Mark. Apparently they were good.
No, okay, so the core of them is good. the shit surrounding them is shit.
It's hit and
miss. That's why I give you that list, and you watch that list.
I'm gonna watch the list.
There's still some shit in there, but there's a lot less shit. Most of it's good.
I'll watch the list. But yeah, no, give this guy a live action show.
Fucking oath, man. I would be honestly, while I'd love to see an Ahsoka series, sure. I would also love to see something that isn't Ahsoka's.
Obi-Wan series?
I'd love to see an Ahsoka movie. I
Mm.
don't know if I'd be up for an Ahsoka series.
That's fair.
We've
fair,
had
that's
two
fair.
series with Ahsoka in it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm sure I'd get a lot of hate online for saying that, but I don't care.
Yeah, no one's
You know, I don't want them to overuse Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's fair. Burn it out. Yeah, so they defeat this town. Ahsoka's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going back on my thing. I'm not training old Grogu. He's your son. You're his daddy. Give him a kiss on the cheek. You need to go to some Jedi temple and put him on the scene.
Okay, I think I got more to say.
Yeah, we'll go back then. Go back.
Well, for one, personally, I love that scene where it's time to say goodbye and then he just sits with him for a bit.
Oh, yeah, that's what I pointed out to you, which, yeah, I also wanted to bring up. Is, yeah, the fucking
The
music.
score was insane.
It was the Mandalorian theme in parts. I went into it, but then it was all flutes. And it was just really kind of church, gothic.
And then when
like,
it cuts from the city, it goes to just like a solo of the fluting.
Yeah, it was just flutes, but it was like this big kind of symphonic, like weird.
Yeah, it was great. It was fucking great.
As far as music goes, like it was a good piece of music.
And
I can
fit.
sit down.
Even
and
though it was fucking whack, it fit.
it was
perfectly.
amazing. That's what
Yeah.
you want.
Mm.
That's exactly what you want from a score.
Plus the scene was good too.
This was
Him-
some of the
him-
best Star
him
Wars since
sitting-
the original trilogy, Mark. This
What
episode.
I don't get though is like Mando is obviously to the point where he wants to just leave, send Baby Yoda to a Jedi and move on, right?
I don't know.
Why doesn't he be Piccolo?
Been beat up Gohan?
No, just be Piccolo and just be the follower to make sure everything goes through. Okay.
Well, I think
Watch
that's
over
where
it.
we're
That's where
going,
he's gonna
right?
head. But I was watching it tonight. Like, well, not tonight. When I first watched it, I was like, God, he's got to become Piccolo, surely.
Well, that's where it's leading on. So yeah, Ahsoka's like, I'm not fucking training him, Anakin or some fucking thing, which is like, okay, whatever. Man.
No, she said no. She didn't. That was the first time. The second time, she said go to Tython.
Yeah, which is this ancient Jedi planet.
It's in Rebels and
Temple
it's in
and Legends as well,
It's
a
in
lot.
it's in Legends. It's in Rebels. It's in Clone Wars. It's in Fallen Order.
It's in the Mandalorian.
It's in the Mandalorian. It's a massive planet where the Jedi are rumored to have first started out as they weren't even Jedi at that point. They were Jedi. Like it was a different order. Back then, the lightsabers literally had cords that attached to their belt.
Nah, that's
battery
cool.
packs?
Retro, bro.
Yeah, when they first encountered the
Retro Jedi.
the dark side users before they were the Lords of the Sith, because the Sith species hadn't been enslaved at that point.
Oh, okay.
Because they became the Lords of the Sith. Originally, so the Sith name came from, they weren't always Sith, they came from these dark side Jedi which enslaved the Sith race, and they became the Lords of the Sith. And then over time they became Sith Lords. Then they became Sith.
Okay.
Yeah. The Sith were a race which were just encumbered with the dark side. It was a dark side planet, but they were just so fueled with the dark side, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, that's not the point though. The Tython is a really ancient Jedi planet with an old school Jedi temple on it. In fact, in Rebels, when Ezra goes there, when they're trying to train him to be a Jedi, he goes to Tython. In there, he has vision, you know, it's filled with Force visions and shit, and he ends up actually having a telepathic conversation with Yoda on Dagobah.
Okay.
From Tython. Hence why Ahsoka's like, maybe if he goes to Tython and resonates his presence, a Jedi will come and find him. It's happened before.
Yeah, alright, okay.
It's just a very strong Jedi place.
Yeah.
And I imagine Jedi who would be still around would be searching for him. I'm just hoping they don't bring Ezra into it, because that cunt was a fucking shithead.
I'm hoping that'll bring Luke Skywalker into it.
Well, considering Ahsoka's never met Luke Skywalker, I imagine that... Shit. I mean, I guess they could. I mean, it's after episode 6. Why not get a new hash of Luke? They've done everything else right.
I know, but how are they gonna achieve it on camera? Mark Hamill's 60.
Dude, I didn't... No, they wouldn't do... They'd recast, obviously.
This is Solo all over again, Mark! We've seen Solo! Do you know what it didn't have? Harrison Ford. Do you know what Solo needed a high fucking dose of? Harrison Ford.
I know, but I'm just saying if they were to, that would be the case. I don't think that's where they'll head.
No, but I'm just thinking like how many Jedis are really banging around at the moment?
I mean, there's a few.
Apparently, yeah.
Considering like when you actually go on and you actually look how many Jedi survived Order 66, plus they can just make one out of nothing.
Yeah, they can, which is what they probably should be doing. We're always trying to encourage things to be more original and step out of the comfort zone of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And this is doing that, but also integrating all these other weird, other obscure elements into it perfectly.
They have a very strong opportunity to set up the whole Jedi who, after Order 66 happened, he survived. He decided to go into hiding throughout the Empire days. And then after they fell, he sensed this connection to Grogu.
Yeah.
And that brings him back, which makes him still very bitter and old and... You know,
Luke or someone else?
Someone else. It's gotta be, I feel like it has to be someone from the Clone Wars era, an old school Jedi who's trained him. I feel like someone...
You want a previously existing character?
No, not necessarily. Just someone from that era. I just feel like they need to have some sort of knowledge
connection
of
to Grogu, because Grogu went through that shit as well.
Well, yeah, that would be cool, but like just more for the actual Jedi ideals rather than Luke who didn't actually have any connection to that except for Obi-Wan, who died like within 2 days of meeting him.
2 days?
Not meeting him, but like how long was that trip to Alderaan and then Obi-Wan's death?
Yeah, but Luke knew of him before then.
But he didn't train him before then.
No, he didn't train him.
That's what I was referring to.
But he had like a kind of mental thing going on.
Sort of, but we don't know how much they...
I assume he had some
do you think he means old Ben Kenobi? Like,
yeah, but that was Owen.
They know each other.
Owen was like, oh, Ben, he lives on beyond the Dylan Sea. He's just a crazy old hermit.
That old hermit doesn't even fucking shower, can't he?
Some people say he's smoking death sticks and fucking getting blowies from rockers out there. Really? Where does he live? Sit down, Luke, you're not joining the rebellion.
Moisture farming, that's the way. Drink your blue milk.
We're gonna fucking farm moisture, brah. You don't want to join the rebellion and fight the Galactic Empire, that's boring.
Dude, he didn't want to join the rebellion, he wanted to join the Empire, didn't he?
Luke?
Yeah, because the Academy isn't a rebellion academy, it's an Empire academy.
No, he was trying to join the rebellion because Biggs joined it the year before.
That's true, I just don't see the rebellion having an academy.
Yeah, I don't think they have an academy. They're more like...
That's why I automatically jumped to Empire, thinking that maybe he thought, because all the propaganda, maybe the Empire he went to.
No, I think he was trying to join the rebellion because of
But why?
Biggs.
Okay, so why fucking is on Tatooine is it such a thing about the Empire? Because that was ruled by the Hutts. I don't think the Empire was that prevalent there. Why would he be so against them?
Who, Owen?
Luke.
I don't know, I guess he just heard stories about this.
Where from?
I mean, they're called stormtroopers.
They don't have the internet. I mean, they had stormtroopers when they were looking for something, when the Empire happened to be above there and the planes went down to Tatooine. But it's a planet ruled by the Hutts. I don't imagine the Empire... It's on the outer rim. The Empire was more about the control of the core worlds.
Mm. It'd just be like hearing stories, I guess, reverberate through town and through culture. The Empire is inherently evil. I mean, they do bad shit.
Yeah, but there's... Yes, but they also had brought the, instead of like all the issues that were happening to the Republic, the main reason the Republic fell wasn't because of the Clone Wars, it was because the whole Senate and everything had gotten corrupt and fallen apart. They weren't doing a good job of governing the thing. Under the Empire, they actually brought all the worlds together.
You're a communist. Now I know, Mark. You're a fucking communist. This is what you've been playing out this whole fucking time.
That's...
Democracy bad, communism good. I hear what you're saying, Mark.
Good.
You enjoy communism, and that's fine and good, and I'm glad you're a communist. All I'm saying is the Soviet Russia didn't end well, okay?
I'm not saying that it's the right system. I'm just saying when it comes to a galactic basis...
A dictatorship is more effective.
Well, it was in this case.
I'm just gonna do
Look what happened to the New Republic, man. The New Order destroyed them in a matter of minutes.
I don't know the words you're saying. What are you saying?
The First Order launched one fucking...
Oh, yeah. So
and annihilated the New Republic in a matter of seconds. I'm sorry, but I feel like the New Republic did a shit job.
Dictatorships are better.
They're just like, let's destroy the Empire because they've destroyed this. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh fuck, now we actually got to govern this
like
shit.
when Nazi Germany took over
Oh
Poland.
my god. Is there any point in this conversation?
Oh, in my mind, all that stuff is like very clear Nazi and Soviet Russia propaganda.
But it's just such a narrow view of the Jedi. Nah, it's such a one-sided argument. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I guess what fucking old mate says in Clerks, Randall says, is it Randall? It's Randall, isn't it?
Randall is the weird one. Dante's the conservative one with no team. Randall's the back.
Randall. Yeah, the way he talks about just general people just working for the Empire. You know, Sidious was an evil motherfucker, but the majority of the people working for the Empire weren't evil.
But that's the same with the Nazi Party. Like, if you're in Germany at that time, like, are you going to get hung or are you going to be a Nazi?
Exactly.
They were just all normal people that got employed. But the regime was a bit, we'll destroy all Iran, we'll gas the Jews, you know.
Okay, all Iran was a bad move.
All I'm saying is democracies can work and dictatorships aren't necessarily good.
No, I'm just saying in this particular instance they did bring the galaxy together more. But it was under a tyrannical rule, so I guess it wasn't that okay. But all I'm saying is...
That's what I'm saying, dictatorships are bad.
But Tatooine was on the Outer Rim, which the Galactic Empire wasn't that prevalent in, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even in the Jedi Knight series, when he goes to Tatooine and shit, you barely see stormtroopers there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because they don't give a shit. It's controlled by the Hutts. It's too much of a pain in the ass sending troopers down there and getting fucking killed and then, like...
achieving nothing.
Exactly.
They're
just like, more like, you'll be right, we'll just fucking send shit over if shit goes bad, you know? Darth Vader wouldn't even go down there because he hates sand, you know?
Gets everywhere. That was actually good. So in conclusion, I keep on saying it.
I fucking love this episode.
Great. This episode was really good. Tonally, it was exactly where I want this to be. I don't want Baby Yoda as a comic relief. I want this shit darker. Narratively, it pushed forward a lot, which I was always resisting. I'm like, nah, have an episode where they fight the dragon. But then when I seen this, I'm like...
Well, it needs to... It's in season 2, it needs to, but...
That's fair.
And I feel like it, how do I put this? I'm glad that it definitely made Ahsoka seem like a one-off character. Or she may appear again like bloody, you know, MMA chick appeared.
Yeah.
But she's not a main... She's not like, okay, I'm not gonna hop on your ship now and, you know, lead the way. So it's good. I like that.
Mandy's story. Tonally, I mean, I've gushed before over the samurai setting, all these narrative things they're pulling from like Western tropes and all the samurai movies. Oh my god, I just can't get enough of this, and it's in the Star Wars world.
Right?
It all looks beautiful. The story was great. The characters are great. The action was amazing. Tonally, it's amazing. The score is incredible.
It was just good.
It was good.
It was so good.
Alright, thank you all for watching. Leave out a like, subscribe in the comments, tell us got all the facts on how opinions are, no, and void. Thank you and good night.
Of course, it's always.
John Williams, man. We gotta do something big when John Williams.